Let's start with the first thing that we want to talk about, and that's the trouble line. All right? Now, in the trouble line, you're going to see that in quite a few different things, and it's a juncture, it's a connection, it is a choke point between multiple planes of operation. And generally, you're going to have something above the trouble line and below the trouble line. Now, for our scenario right now, the 4 steps of customer development, we're going to identify the area above the trouble line, and we're going to call that parasitic. All right? Parasitic. Now, if you remember from your high school biology, what a parasite is. A parasite is an organism that survives in a non-symbiotic relationship with its host. For all the people that didn't go to college-level biology, what that basically means is that the host, one of the parties, really gets the short end of the deal, right? There's that tarantula wasp that is available here in our beautiful Tucson area. Here is a wasp that actually physically lays its eggs into the body of a living host. In this case, it's a tarantula. And when it's young, gestated and eventually erupt from the host, it then consumes it. That seems like a pretty bad deal for the tarantula, doesn't it?
That's not comforting.
Yeah, not only they're going to lay your babies, and then the babies are going to hatch, and then they're going to eat you. So that's clearly a non-symbiotic relationship. There's that parasitic relationship. We talk about the parasitic salesperson. Every day he's got a new deal. Hey, Bob, today we got a special. Hey, Bob, today we got a special. Hey, Bob, today we got a special. Right? It doesn't take Bob long to realize that this person's only thought of him is as a customer or as a meal ticket or as a sale. Really doesn't care about him, really hasn't invested any time in the relationship. As far as they're concerned, it's a one-way relationship, customer-vendor. And because of that, and for example, we were talking about clicks and apps, right? The one thing my wife I love to use, because I think she's just the atypical consumer, is that if she signs up for something and immediately you start to hound her, right? If you send her something every day for 3 or 4 days, she will drop you. Even if it's something she likes, even if it's something that she wants, she will drop you. Just the effort that it takes for her to read your website will irritate her, right? Even though you're doing everything right and it's content that she wants and she likes, but in her world, every day you shouldn't be knocking on my door. Once a week.
And that is so common abuse.
Oh, absolutely.
It happens.
Sure.
People don't get that.
Right. And it's interesting because what happens is, now again, absence doesn't make the heart grow fonder. We've already established that in previous sessions. But in our scenario, it's almost like you're now forced. It's like you're constantly in front of that person. You're constantly top of mind. Time is the currency of love. But if it's a parasitic relationship where let me sell you something, let me tell you something, let me sell you something, let me sell you something, it doesn't take long before that person realizes that there's really no relationship, right? So obviously, we've got the trouble line. So if the trouble line divides parasitic, it obviously now has to divide from non-parasitic. So that's a relationship that doesn't have any selling in it whatsoever. That's what we call pure giving, right? So it's pure giving. I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm giving, right? So if you contact a salesperson that never tries to close, never says, hi, Mrs. Jones, should we write it up, right? They're constantly sending you information, constantly sending you information, constantly sending you information to a point where you don't need any more information. You probably didn't need any more information sometime before that. But this salesperson never closed. So what you have is that trouble line that divides parasitic and non-parasitic. And for it to be a successful relationship, however, there needs to be an equal amount of both. There are times where you have to ask for the sale. That makes sense, right? But there are times when you don't ask for the sale. Because if every single time that you call somebody, you're pitching them on a sale, what will they likely start to do? Well, they'll see your phone number, know it's you, know it's theirs, right? And they're going to let it go to voicemail, right? Or they're going to see your email, and eventually they're just going to delete it and block it.
What do they want now?
What do they want now? Exactly.